Ever wonder what a pilot's view looks like during a standard departure, cruise, and final approach? We explore it all from the instrument, panel scans, and navigation to the runway environment. Step into the cockpit of a Boeing 737-800 for an unparalleled eye-level look at what airline pilots see from takeoff to landing. In this video, we break down the critical insights, visual cues, and pilot perspectives during the most important phases of flight.
Push the contact please approved for runway 26 flight, QNH 1013.
So in cabina?
I expect to start the push in about 30 seconds if there is an airliner.
Avem aprobare pentru push și toate cu airlinerul în spatele nostru, cum este pusă. Până litera. Ok.
And once again, I'd like to welcome you all back to another episode of Aviation Accidents Insights. And I'm your host, John Shad. Looking at the Boeing 737 being pushed away from the gates as we are preparing for takeoff. And we have two captains on board today. We have the main captain there, which happens to be a male, and a female as the co-captain. And if you ever wonder what it's like, or what your pilot or captain sees in the cockpit of a Boeing 737 or an Airbus, this is the bird's eye view of what your pilot are seeing. Going through the takeoff checklist. As soon as it completes, we're going to be taxiing to the runway.
Și având două motoare bune, te poți deconecta, ne vedem cu pinuța dreapta. Zi bună, Papa.
Generator on, roll kick on, jet off, jet, installation from auto, engine passage is continuous, ABS switch off, recall check, auto brake action, car level, flight control,
check.
transponder is clear, ground is
Clear left.
ready? Start on board,
7.25 Sierra November, Quebec.
Sierra November, Quebec, 7.25.
Right,
Clear
turn,
right.
clear left. Yeah. Everything is gone.
And we're going to be taxiing to the runway and preparing for takeoff.
Controls, ready.
Ready?
Ready. And one cover.
We're powering up. Looks like we've been cleared for takeoff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. And we will be airborne momentarily. V1. And we have a positive climb. Gear up. Once the aircraft reach V1, it's the point of no return, and you have to get airborne no matter what, even if you have a malfunction of the aircraft. Once you get V1, you have to get airborne, and you have to work out your problem with the aircraft in the air, even if it means to return it back to the airport. Commercial airlines going to reach about 36,000 feet. Those levels off.
After takeoff, check your engine leading. Back auto. Engine started low. Landing gear up and off. Flaps up and right. Altimeter standard setting. After takeoff, check your
And it looks like we're going to be preparing for a landing. The gear is down. We do hope you enjoyed this flight. And we should be on the ground momentarily. We thank you for choosing our airline. Well, we say leave the flying to us. Again, this is 737 Boeing Airlines.
500. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
We are on the ground. Reverse thrusters. Reversing thrusters helps to bring the aircraft to a slow speed so we could taxi on to the gates. Boeing CNC Babe cockpit view. What pilots see from takeoff to landing. Step into the cockpit of a Boeing 737-800 for an unparalleled, eye-level look at what airline pilots see from takeoff to landing. In this video, we break down the critical insights, visual cues, and pilot perspectives during the most important phases of flight. Ever wonder what a pilot's view looks like during a standard departure, cruise, and final approach? We explore it all from the instrument, panel scans, and navigation to the runway environment. Pilot visual cues during takeoff and landing. During takeoff and landing, pilots rely on a precise combination of external visual cues and internal instrument scans to maintain situational awareness. What pilots see. During takeoff, the centerline. Pilots use the painted runway centerline and flush-mounted center lights to maintain perfect tracking down the runway remaining markers. Large black signs with white numbers along the runway side tell the pilot how many thousands of feet of runway are left the horizon. During rotation, pulling the nose up, the physical horizon drops out of view. Pilots immediately transition their eyes inside to the primary flight display PFD to maintain the correct pitch angle. Peripheral reference. Pilots use the runway edges in their peripheral vision to detect any sudden drifts caused by crosswinds before the aircraft becomes airborne. What pilots see. During landing, PAPI lights. Precision approach path indicator lights sit next to the runway. Pilots look for 2 red and 2 white lights, which signify a perfect 3-degree glide path. For reds mean the plane is too low. For whites mean it is too high, the aim point. This is a set of thick white blocks, painted 1,000 feet down the runway. Pilots glue their eyes to this point, flying the aircraft directly toward it until it is time to flare level out. Just above the ground, the flare transition. In the final 50 feet, the pilot shifts their gaze from the touchdown point to the far end of the runway. Looking down the distance helps them judge height above the ground to ensure a smooth touchdown. How pilots qualify to fly different. Aircraft commercial pilots cannot simply jump from one type of airliner to another. Airplanes are strictly categorized, and flying different models requires specific legal certifications, private, commercial license, category, class ratings, type ratings. 1. Category and class ratings before flying airliners. Pilots earn foundational ratings that define the broad type of aircraft they can operate. Category, broad classifications like airplane, rotorcraft, helicopters, or glider class. Subdivisions within a category. For airliners, pilots must hold a multi-engine land ammo rating to the type rating the airliner standard. Aviation authorities like the FAA or EASA require a type rating for any aircraft with a maximum takeoff weight over 12,500 pounds or any aircraft powered by a turbojet engine, one plane. One rating. A type rating is a specific certification added to a pilot's license. For example, a pilot certified to fly a Boeing 737 holds AB 737 type rating. They cannot legally fly a Boeing 777 or an Airbus A320 without passing a completely separate training program. For those specific aircraft, the training process, earning a type rating, takes 2 to 6 weeks. It involves intensive ground school on aircraft systems, followed by dozens of hours in a multi-million-dollar full motion level D flight simulator practicing normal operations and emergency procedures. 3. Common type ratings the family exception. Some aircraft are similar enough that regulatory agencies group them under a single type rating. This saves airlines millions of dollars in training costs. Boeing 737, a single type rating covers the 777、700、700到800, and the newer 737 MAX, a pilot, only needs a short differences training, computer course to transition between them. Airbus A320 family, a single rating covers the A318, A320, A319, and A321 cross-screw qualification CCQ. Airbus designed their cockpits so similarly that a pilot transitioning from an Airbus A322, a massive Airbus A330 only needs a brief, abbreviated course rather than an entirely new full-length type rating. Takeoff in a commercial cockpit involves highly structured communication, with the pilot monitoring PM, announcing key speeds, and the pilot flying PF, managing aircraft control. These standardized calls, such as V1 for the now return point and rotate for liftoff, ensure safety and efficiency during the critical acceleration, rotation, and initial climb phases 1, 2. 1. Standard Boeing 737 landing, cowlet steering landing. The roles remain pilot flying PF, hands-on controls and pilot monitoring PM, watching instruments and systems. The aircraft's automated radio altimeter also chimes in, the final approach radio altimeter. 2. The reject, abort procedure before V1. V1 is the go, no-go speed. Once the plane passes V1, it must fly. If a major failure happens before V1, the captain will abort the takeoff, the sequence, the trigger, a master caution light, fire warning, or engine failure occurs at 90 knots, the call. The captain yells, reject. Only the captain can make this decision. The action's captain per PF simultaneously closes the thrust levers completely, disconnects the auto throttle, pulls full reverse thrust on both engines, applies maximum manual braking if the auto brakes don't kick in. The action's PM calls out speed brakes green or no speed brakes, monitors deceleration and radios air traffic control, tower. Flight number is rejecting takeoff on runway X. The stop, once the plane stops on the runway, the crew runs emergency checklists. 3. Sudden engine failure at V1, the ultimate test. If an engine explodes or fails exactly at R after V1, there is not enough runway left to stop. The pilots must take the emergency into the air, the high-stress call-out sequence. The bang, an engine fails at V1 speed.pm. V1 acknowledges the speed. Even with the failure, PM, rotate. At VR speed, usually a few knots after V1, PF gently pulls the nose up. Because one engine is dead, the plane will aggressively yaw turn toward the dead engine. The PF must slam their foot on the rudder pedal to keep the plane straight. PM, positive rate. The instruments show the plane is climbing. PF, gear up. The transition, the crew climbs to a safe altitude, usually 1,000 feet. Levels off, accelerates, cleans up the flaps, and then declares an emergency with a TC to return for an immediate landing. Here is the exact air traffic control, ATC. Phraseology used during an engine failure. Emergency on a Boeing 737 in aviation. The universal rule for pilots during an emergency is aviate, navigate, communicate. Pilots will completely ignore the radio until the plane is safely airborne, stabilized, and climbing. That's step 1, the initial distress call. The Mayday once the plane is climbing safely, usually above 400 to 1,000 feet, and the landing gear is up. The pilot monitoring PM keys the microphone. They must use the word Mayday 3 times to instantly clear the radio. Frequency of all other traffic: pilot, Mayday, 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 tower, Boeing flight number, engine failure, maintaining runway heading, climbing to 5,000 feet, ATC tower, flight number, tower, roger the Mayday, turn left heading 270, climb and maintain 5,000 feet. The runway is clear if you need to return. Step 2, setting the transponder, squawking 7,700 while speaking. The pilots will change their transponder code to 7,700. This makes their blip flash bright red on every air traffic. Controller's radar screen in the region. Step 3, giving the NATS. Report once the workload in the cockpit drops. ATC will ask for details. Pilots use the acronym NATS to structure this update so they do not forget critical information. N, nature of the emergency. A, actions taken, assistance needed. T, time per, fuel remaining expressed in minutes, hours of flight time. S, souls on board, total number of passengers and crew. The conversation sounds like this: ATC, flight number, when able, state nature of emergency and intentions. Pilot, center, flight number. We have a failure on engine number 2. We have completed the engine fire severe damage checklist. The engine is secured. We require a left-hand turn to return for an immediate visual approach. To runway 28 right. ATC, roger, flight number. Turn left heading 184 vectors to the final approach course. State souls on board and remaining fuel. Pilot, we have 162 souls on board and 3 hours of fuel remaining. Request airport emergency services to meet us on arrival. Step 4, the final approach. Coordination, because the 737 is flying on only one engine. It is heavier and harder to maneuver. ATC will give them priority over every other aircraft in the sky. ATC. Flight number, you are cleared to land. Runway 28 right, wind 260 at 12 knots. Emergency equipment is standing by. Pilot, cleared to land runway 28 right, flight number. To finalize the structure of your video, would you like the exact cockpit checklist steps? Engine fire, severe damage checklist. The pilots read out loud while this is happening. Do you need advice on how to use realistic ATC radio sound effects or captions to maximize viewer engagement? Do you want a 15-second teaser script based on this emergency to use as a YouTube short, TikTok?